and it's recording. There we go.
Ready?
I like it, Logan.
Yeah.
Senior year is a joke. So sad.
For all you students who are on here who are not seniors, do not do what these seniors do. None of them are going to graduate.
We're all going to grad school.
No big deal. Just go to grad school.
Not next year, you're not.
I'm pretty
I'm
sure.
actually supposed to go in like in a month, so.
Oh, you won't, dude. Now they aren't even gonna have.
I'll have mine.
So if you want to start thinking about the extra credit question, I'll make a note to write this down, or I'll make a note to put this on this weekend.
I'm coming over after this.
I bet, dude. It's gonna be over.
So
you can come.
in the first section of the class, we talked about length, tension, and force velocity. And you may or may not know this, but there is a specific strength training protocol where, and maybe you all have had this happen, where a coach tells you to go down really, really slow, eccentrically, and then pop up really, really fast. So there's a reason for that. There's a reason that people train that way. Why would that be?
Train explosiveness.
Well, it has to do with some of the concepts that we talked about. So start thinking about that, and that'll be your bonus question.
Maybe it has something to do with, I don't know.
Look, Seltzer's texting just like she does in real life.
He said that we get to use each other for the test, and Morgan texted me, bet.
Who's getting a phone call?
That's me.
Oh.
So we won't have lab homework next week. It's still just lab homework 6.
That's due the Sunday before spring break starts.
And will that be the only thing due besides quizzes too next Sunday?
Quizzes and probably a forum, something. But I'm not. Yeah, I won't make you. Damn it.
Now somebody's really getting a call.
Hold on real quick.
Ooh, Dakota texted us again, guys. We need to reply.
Happy.
So
I haven't even joined that yet. Oh,
you
really?
can tell him to. Should I send the Zoom to him? He can.
Yeah. Get him on here. We read all his textbooks this week.
Yeah,
He
you
had
can
left
join.
day yesterday.
He had leg day yesterday, is that what you said?
No, he had a rough day yesterday.
Why?
Yeah, he had to put down one of his dogs, and they were 15 years old. So.
Jeez.
Not only is he quarantined, now he had to do that. We'll get him on here. I'll put a beer in his hand.
Here, I'm gonna text him the.
I'm disappointed Woody's not in here.
Yeah, I know. I kind of am.
Ben, if any of you
He would have had a
have
half
Ben's-
gallon of
if
sand.
any of you guys have Ben's number, you should text him. He's also having a really tough time. He's got some family stuff going on. So if you guys, you guys should reach out to him and make sure he's doing all right.
It's just Kyle's not here. That's because
Oh God, yeah.
Fuck Kyle.
Okay, well.
I forgot about, yeah. I'm just at my house, so it didn't really register in my head that I couldn't say that.
It's all right.
I'm confused.
It won't happen again.
where's your dog at?
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine.
Wait, so what'd you say, Lefty?
Where's your dog at?
Upstairs.
I'm typing a text message.
It's a fun group chat.
What are you drinking now?
I know we should do this like more than once.
What you drinking, Logan?
Jim Beam.
Oh, really?
Yeah, buddy. All right. That's what I call a gateway whiskey or a gateway bourbon. That
Jeez.
you can move up from there. That's what I started drinking when I started drinking.
It's the one you could buy more than once a month because it's not that expensive. Nice water.
Oh, Lisha. Come on.
That's all right.
Stay hydrated.
Stick with that water.
No. This is like water.
Yeah, that is like water. I've got it in my fridge. I wait till after I'm done with my workouts, and then I No, like in the
I mean, what have
commercials.
you been doing to work out?
I just feel like
Out-
you've drank every day of quarantine. I'm not gonna lie.
What's that?
I've had a beer every day.
Yeah, I for sure drink every day.
I feel like you have a reason to. Kayla, I loved your Snapchat.
I'm just
Yeah,
like,
Kayla, that was golden.
Yeah, dude, your Snapchats are cracking me up last
You
night on your
guys all-
story.
I'm just sad. All the time.
Are you guys still going places for spring break?
No.
No,
No.
which
Oh,
sucks.
they closed all the beaches. I saw. Like all.
Yeah.
That sucks. What do you guys need help with? Is that like actual biomechanics stuff? Anything?
Everything from like the end of lecture did not make sense.
Okay. All right. Well, here, let me pull up my lecture and see if we can. All right. Lecture.
Augie, my dad said you had corona.
I might, honestly. Hey, at least I'm home though, away from everybody.
True. I sanitized the room when you left, by the way.
Of course you did.
So, Alicia, is there any one particular point that you are curious about?
I never mentioned anything. That was Haley.
Oh, sorry,
That was me.
Haley.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I think I was just getting confused with like all of the formulas and everything, like mixing and stuff.
Okay. So the nice thing here, let me see if I can. And your formulas are still on Google Drive, so we'll probably still do a formula exam after spring break, just like we did. Let me share my screen real quick. Let's make sure there's nothing crazy on my computer. Okay, we're good. All right. There we go. All right. Okay.
Oh, sick.
So
That's kind of cool.
I think so.
You could probably just literally.
The thing, Haley, to keep in mind with all this stuff is, it's very, very similar to linear. Everything we did, so we did like velocity, we did displacement, we did acceleration, and all that stuff is the exact same. Now instead of moving in a straight line, we are talking about rotating around. Can you see that okay? Instead of moving in a straight line, we're just rotating around a fixed point. So
Okay.
does that make sense?
Yeah.
So all the variables are the same. The thing that starts to get confusing is the Greek. They start to use Greek letters for a lot of these things. And one thing to keep in mind, I think a lot of you might have tried it on your when you're making your graphs. Radians is used quite a bit in a lot of the initial calculations, but in sports and when we talk about joint movements on the human body, usually we use degrees. So converting back and forth between radians and degrees, that's going to be on your formula exam. 1 radian equals 57.3 degrees. And if you don't remember what a radian is, this is all it is. If this piece of pie right here, this distance right here on the outside of the circle is the exact same distance as these two sides of the triangle right here. That's what 1 radian is. And these are called radians, these outsides of the triangle. Anytime you hear tangent, that means the straight line that skims over the curved part of a circle. And we use circles in angular stuff because a fixed point, things are going to rotate around circles. So this could be this little fixed point right in the middle here. That could be an elbow joint, and this could be the forearm rotating around. As far as formulas go, so this one here, when we when we're going to use omega. So for those of you who are in sororities or fraternities, some of this might make sense. Omega, actually, there's two different ways to write omega. There's the upside down horseshoe, like some of you. That's also omega right there. Anyway, this is the exact same thing as linear velocity. It's instead of change in linear displacement straight across, it's change in angular displacement. So how much does an angle move? Does that make sense, Haley?
Yeah, if it helps, I just stopped comprehending after angular acceleration.
Okay. That does help. That does help. This right here, all this stuff looks super confusing, but if you break it down, if you think of like people running on a track, this is the reason that people like in track and field, if this is the very center of like the football field, and this is lane 1 of the track, and this is lane 2 of the track, it would not be fair for this person S1 and this person S2 to start at the exact same point. That wouldn't be fair, because we know that this person at the top is going to run further. They just are. That's why on a track, if this is the lane 1, if you've ever run on a track before, that's why there's 8 lanes on a track. This is lane 1.
Hold on.
If this is lane 2, this person gets to start up right about here. So then it's equal. Haley, were you okay with this stuff right here? Did this stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So you said past angular acceleration.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Joint movements. Here we go. Okay. And I can see why angular acceleration would be confusing, because now there's 2 components of it. So let's when we did linear acceleration, there were 2 components, an up and a down. It's not that different with angular acceleration. When something rotates, let's see, I'm sure there's better pictures that when something is rotating around a fixed point, so your forearm is rotating around your elbow, and let's use a specific point. Let's see if there's a better. Okay, here we go. Tell me if you can you guys still see my screen right now?
Yeah.
We talked about linear acceleration. We talked about that was me. Here we go. I'm gonna see if I can. I'm seeing if I can draw something on here. Actually, I really wish I could. Drawing.
Is this showing up that I'm scribbling on this?
Oh, hey! Wow! How did you do that?
Wait, what?
I don't know. There's like a button.
This is a
Let's
comic.
all draw on it.
Oh boy!
Where is the button at?
Yeah, where is this at?
It's like it's at the bottom left, right above the mute button.
Oh, I don't have that.
Don't do it!
Oh, buddy.
Stop it!
Okay, it's because
No.
I'm on my phone probably.
You guys see
Yeah, I
Oh
don't-
yeah, Taylor Neely could do it on her phone the other day too.
No, mother of God! All right, stop it.
that reaction?
Of course, the one person that gets control of my screen is Gorman. Here we go. All right. No, you messed it all up.
Oh, come on.
Biomechanics is canceled.
Yay.
Okay,
I
bye.
mean, I'm not gonna argue.
Laughing
I
now.
bet you wouldn't. All right. So hold on. Let's go back. This is actually a really good question. And this is, there we go. This is, yay, okay. That's where everybody gets confused. So this is right here. If Haley, if this is the middle of the circle, we can consider this the elbow. And out here, all these points, let's just consider this the wrist or the hand. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so if this is the elbow and this is rotating, the rotating forearm is in angular motion. And so it has acceleration because the muscle is contracting at the biceps and it's accelerating. And there's two parts to acceleration. There is a straight line component and there's a component that goes back in towards the circle. And let's close that. So, and it all still shows up. Annotate. Where's my eraser? Okay. So the straight line component of angular acceleration, if you want to imagine, sorry, that's the heater. Imagine a car moving around a curve, and there's a straight line component, right? It has to move straight to go forward. But if a car wants to move in a circle, then it also has to have something pulling it inward. Or else, if it's not being pulled inward as it's going straight, it's not gonna make a curve at all. It's just gonna go straight. And that's what this is about. If you want to run in a curve, if you want to accelerate into a curve, you are going to have to lean so that you can get an inward pull inside the circle that pulls you in a curve. If you didn't, you just go straight. So the two parts of angular acceleration are tangential, which is the straight line portion, and then there's the inward portion that pulls you in, which makes you go in a curve. Does that make sense?
Yeah, kinda.
Let's see. Trying to see. Hold on real quick. Radial acceleration is difficult to understand because you can't see it. Maybe I can help out.
Morgan, what are you drinking?
Reds.
Nice.
Reds.
Hey, keep this PG.
I'm finishing them because nobody else in my family likes them.
What a trooper.
I don't need that. Okay.
Not going to school ever again.
All right. So you see, this is my dog leash. You see me swinging it? My point
Yeah.
of rotation. My point of rotation is right at my thumb, right at my hand. Right. This is moving in a circle. So in order for it to accelerate in a circle, it has to have a straight line tangential portion. So if this is the center of rotation, it's obviously got acceleration that's linear. There's a linear part of this acceleration. And it's the exact same thing as straight line acceleration. Tangential or alpha t, it's the exact same equation for linear acceleration. It's the same thing. Anything that moves in a curve has two components, and the first is a linear. So as this thing's moving in a curve, try not to hit myself in the face.
Straight.
Right? It's got that straight line component. But the real question to ask yourself is, how can it move in a circle in the first place? What is the difference between this thing moving just straight and moving in a curve? What makes something move in a curve? radial acceleration. It's the pull to the inside of the circle. The way I like to describe radial acceleration is, I always think in my head, I know this sounds stupid, but I think of somebody, whatever the fixed point of rotation is, it's your elbow, it's my hand, somebody sitting, an imaginary person sitting in the middle of the circle with a fishing rod, just pulling in. Like if you've ever been fishing before, if you caught a fish and it was on the end of your line and it was trying to just go straight the other direction away from you, and you pulled it and you pulled on the fishing line, it would go in a curve back around the other side of your boat. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's what this is. That's you pulling on the fish. That is radial acceleration. If you didn't pull on the fish, it would just go straight away from the boat.
Mm-hmm.
So the fish is still trying to go straight, but you are pulling it back, and it rotates in a curve. That's radial. That's what happens to somebody who runs on a curve. That's what happens at our joints. When I rotate around my elbow, right, my forearm has straight line acceleration. It's also got acceleration that's going back towards my elbow, so it can move in a curve. Does that make sense more than it did before?
Yeah.
Yes, because I haven't watched any of this yet.
Super. All right. Preview.
At least you're honest.
Listen,
I
I
know.
worked all week, okay?
I feel you. It's okay.
I'm
It's all right.
fighting against this war of COVID-19.
What
Yeah.
other questions you
I've
got?
got like all my homework done, and I don't know what to do with my life anymore.
Do mine.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah, come over and do mine too.
Yeah, Braden's gonna
dude.
start making bank because he's gonna do everybody's homework.
I'll
for
pay
him.
you like $5, $10.
You know what?
Oh.
You remind me of that fisherman commercial when the guy's like, "You got
Oh, you got to be quicker than that.
Okay, $11.50.
One thing to keep in mind when you're looking at the data is, one, I crapped up because I didn't put the goniometer on correctly.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not.
So
No, you gotta say it like Brittner, the gynometer.
that's a different type of tool.
Oh, I love Brit.
Ice
So,
cream.
I missed that guy.
when I put the goniometer on incorrectly, it actually reversed this, unfortunately. So when my knee is extending, when my knee's going like this, it's actually getting it's negative instead of positive. So keep that in mind. I put that at the top of the data sets. I made sure you knew that. But that's important because when I did 2 types of jumps. Me too.
It's bedtime.
Oh, it's more like I gotta get some of this homework done.
So I did 2 types of jumps, right? I did a static squat jump where I just started from down here, and then I did a counter movement jump. So in this jump, you're going to see a lot of acceleration going up, which should be negative acceleration or negative velocity, negative acceleration, because it depends on if I'm moving up like that, it's going to make everything negative. Here, I get a mix of both. I get positive down, then negative up. So when you do your graphs, it's going to be like, oh, crap, one is much bigger than the other. But that's because I cut out the counter movement here completely. My suggestion to you on the graphs to make it super easy or a lot easier, make everything into absolute values, no signs. Or what you could do is you could just compare negatives to negatives and positives to positives if you wanted to. That is something to consider. It's exploratory. I'd like to see you try compare the time element, right? But remember, if you're going to use time, the counter movement is definitely going to be longer because there's two parts to it instead of the static squat. So what you would want to do if you're comparing the counter movement to the static squat, you would want to compare positives to positives or negatives to negatives, because in the counter movement jump, there's a mix of negative and positive because you're going one direction and then reversing the other. Am I speaking a different language, or does that make sense?
Understood.
So look at this picture right here. If it's not making sense, if this golfer if they just started from here and swung forward and they didn't actually swing backwards first, let's say one golfer does a regular golf swing. You swing backwards, then you swing forwards. You have clockwise negative angular movement, and then positive counterclockwise positive angular movement. That's what a golf swing is. That's what most human movement is. Jumps. A jump has a negative component, then a positive component. We're a lot of times, unless like if we're standing up from a chair, then we technically have all positive because we didn't do a counter movement. So when you're comparing movements, if one golfer just started and just swung forward and no backwards movement, it would be really hard to compare that person to someone who took a full backswing then a full forward swing, because one person has two components in their swing, one person only has one component in their swing. So the backswing plus the forward swing is probably going to be longer in time, and there's going to be a positive versus a negative. So when you're making your graphs, keep that in mind, that one jump has two components to it. It's going to have a positive component and a negative component, an eccentric component and a concentric component. The other jump just has one component, concentric.
Ooh.
And if it's still super confusing, just break it down into the simplest stuff possible. Compare time or compare the same signs. That help? Hopefully a little bit. How many people are still on this thing here?
A lot. Not leaving. I ain't nothing leaving.
It really is dark in here. I need a better light. What else? Birch, you got ice cream?
No, it's cheesecake.
Oh.
That sounds so good.
So does a bottle of wine.
I did have
You're
chicken
not
on the
wrong.
grill and scalloped potatoes.
Oh, man.
Just go after this, Kayla.
Hannah, is it cold where you are?
Yeah. I just ate ice cream too, so I'm cold.
Oh, there you go. What else? What else do we have questions on? Angular stuff can be tricky, but just remember we're talking about the same concepts, only moving in a curve instead of moving straight. So imagine a car. A car can start out by going straight, but you all drive cars, obviously. Well, maybe not so much right now, but in order to go around a turn, the car has to be pulled inward in order for it to go around that turn. If it wasn't pulled inward, you just keep going straight. And when we get to kinetics, when we get to forces, angular kinetics, we'll talk about centripetal force. It's the force that pushes you in. Super cool. Really exciting.
Are we boring you?
Yeah, why are you checking your watch, rude?
Gorman just did. That's why.
Just trying to not text in your class.
That's right. Jalen just went like this.
She's probably getting a text.
We're all texting about you, sadly.
That's nice.
No one knows. No one knows.
What else? Any other questions?
Allowed to ask something about the data analysis that we just did?
Yeah, that's what I've been talking about.
Okay. So when I was looking at the graph for the ball drop,
Yes.
the acceleration at the 90, I probably did something wrong, but I don't know. My acceleration was higher at the 90 degree than it was at the 180. And I feel like acceleration would be higher. Velocity was higher at 180 than it was at 90. But the whole acceleration.
Here's something to keep in mind. And without being in the nice thing about lab is usually we get a chance to talk about things afterwards. Well, let me ask you guys this. So I was able to control the angle that I started at in both situations. I was able to control the weight of the ball. What's one thing that, and no matter how good you are, I mean, I'm pretty good, but I couldn't replicate between the two scenarios? What's one thing I just couldn't replicate that I can't make the same?
Speed of the bounce.
Yeah, how much force and how much muscular power I'm using, right? So that's just not something. And I had my wife do it, and what I told her is I said, try and move at the same speed both times. That's virtually impossible. No matter how close you get, it's not going to be the same. So maybe when I did the drop from 90 degrees, I went faster and I accelerated quicker. Now, the interesting thing, shut up. Oh, no, he sounds cute.
Her dog's probably named like Princess or something.
Now I'm getting excited because Alicia brought up a good point.
Hello, puppy.
Here we go. Okay, so when I was really stretched out throwing the ball and when I was down at 90 degrees, if let's say I could control my muscular power, how quickly my muscles are contracting, if I could control that and make it the exact same, why? Maybe I accelerate better from 90 degrees, and that has to do with the length tension relationship. Why? Why do you think I can accelerate better from a non-stretched out position?
Because of cross bridges, the production, how many there are?
Yeah, exactly. Now, the big thing is when I did the ball drop, I was in a static starting position. We don't know if I would have done a counter movement where I would have swung back and then tossed it as hard as I possibly could. Maybe I would be willing to bet the acceleration would be a lot faster than the 90-degree one. So, Alicia, to answer your question, you're not doing anything wrong. That's the nature of the experiment. I can't. Now, that's why I had my wife do it. Did you? Hold on.
No, before you finish that, I didn't put into her information to a graph.
Okay, so try this. Oh, is that backwards?
No.
No.
Okay, so try and do my wife and me and average those two, and then let's say at 90, and then do that. And then compare those two averages. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What? All right.
Yeah.
Alicia, does that help?
Yes.
Good.
Good.
phone real quick. Good.
Honestly, I hate not having actual class.
This
Yep.
looks
Sucks.
This is ass.
Like homework was so much easier.
Kayla, did you finally find the mound last night?
That was I was laughing my ass
Dan
off.
was like just painted brown.
Your hand was covered in mud.
And it was pouring.
Like that, your hand probably felt like that feeling when you like wore cleats in the mud for a long time and they're all like heavy
Yeah,
and it felt like
I
it
would
was,
teach
it was a good time.
you know, you in Franklin?
Yeah, I'm at my apartment.
That was Jalen.
Huh?
It's Jalen.
Oh.
I went home for the weekend, but I'll be back every other single day of my entire life.
All right, well, we got to get together soon and A, do this homework and B, drink.
Okay, but like, are we all gonna Zoom and do the test together?
I'm in on that.
I'm in
We
on
need
that.
John McKinney.
All right, I'll text him. I'll bring him with me. We need Dakota on our side. We'll be all right.
Is Liv coming, Frank?
Bro, can we get Dakota in here?
Probably this week. Well, I don't know. She's supposed to come today, but she never came. So.
Damn, dude. I guess she's done with you.
What's on your face? What is that?
Huh? It's my bottle opener, bro.
I was like, what the hell is that? Dude, I'm in on these things. These things are fun, though.
We can just do Kira's test and then Heather's test and get it all done.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
Sitting there listening to this conversation right now.
It's all right. You know what's really funny is
Here comes.
How loud do you have your computer?
me?
Who's on?
Am I screaming right now?
Yes.
There we go.
Oh, he got some more light.
Yay! That didn't help at all. All right.
Maybe like pay the electricity bill.
We've had professors send emails. I mean, everybody's sending emails, but we had a couple professors send emails, and they're gonna do an exam and watch their students through Zoom, which is
Everyone, don't even play.
Well,
is
the,
idiotic. I mean,
I'm
that's,
sorry, but my internet is not going to work that day for some reason.
yeah, no, we're not doing that. What I'm saying is I don't, and Kira and I talked early on, and Max too. We were like, no, we're not doing that.
You also can't post this recording now because Kira can't see it.
Oh, why's that? Oh, because I just left the room and you guys said something about her exam?
I thought you heard it, so never mind.
What's that?
It's HIPAA.
anyways, they have software now that I guess like you 360 cam the whole room if you're gonna take a test online. That's like
Yeah.
what
You're
Yeah, but
stupid.
we don't
My
care.
online classes, I took it through like Examity and stuff, and I had a proctor watch me.
That's
It's
crazy.
awful. They don't speak English.
Thank you. Come again.
Yeah, yeah. You can. They have all that stuff out there, but we don't worry about it because, I mean, when you graduate and
You're only gonna hurt yourself.
when you get to the real world,
You can look up anything.
you can look up anything, but that doesn't always guarantee you're going to have the right answer still. So
Yeah.
might as well give you access to everything, even each other, and do.
Collaboration and network. I like that.
I like that you're staying hydrated too.
Yeah, I go back and forth.
Yeah.
Great example.
All right. What else? I'll probably just post this. I'll probably just post a link to the recording in GroupMe. So, I mean, Kira won't see it if you guys have access.
I think that
I'm definitely gonna go back and watch. I'm curious what you said.
are we ever gonna have real class again, or is this just over?
What's that?
You think this is over? You think we're ever gonna have real class again, or you think that we should?
Oh, we're definitely done for the rest of the year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You
Like-
are.
Every other school in Indiana
I didn't
is
even get the whole
almost
week
done.
skipping
On
class.
a side note, are we still gonna have Olympics? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, that's all.
First year, we gotta participate.
You guys can't get together for beer Olympics. That's
Oh.
That's
This is the only time I can ever
Hey,
do
just have your
ever.
arms out like this, and you're all good. You
Royally
just gotta spread
screwed
out.
up here, I'll be honest.
If Woody wants to jeopardize his backyard, that's up to him.
That could make some of the games more interesting. Social distancing.
Hey, you just gotta put your arms out. And you have to make sure you're away from everyone.
How are you gonna play beer pong and make it sanitary?
I won't drink
Wait,
that.
I've doing it my whole 4 years here.
Listen, I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
I agree.
What'd you say, dear?
Oh, God.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Heverin.
Oh,
Hello.
my wife said everybody gets their own ball.
Oh, that sounds good to me.
That's fine.
And they have to retrieve it at the other end. So
You can just
I'm out on that. That's a lot of walking.
Hand sanitizer or bleach.
yeah, that'll get you fucked
Hey,
up. Real
Kayla,
quick.
my mom says hi.
Oh my
Hello,
God.
Tanya.
It's hot in here now.
My mom's in the room.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Foreman.
I can't believe you said that.
Yeah, right.
Ridiculous.
So it hasn't said worse in front of her mother.
Huh?
Like a
I
general-
allow myself a handful of F-bombs a year.
And that was one of them.
Sips on the bourbon.
Gets the juice flowing.
Any other actual class-related questions?
No, but like,
We would like to hold Zoom meetings more often, please.
Yes. I would
Well, I
agree.
think maybe once a week is okay, right?
Or twice.
Or twice.
Yeah.
How
I'm
many
really
times a
struggling
week?
in this class right now, so I need it.
How many times a week is Kira doing it?
5.
See?
She also has office hours. And stuff.
It's like optional every day, I feel like. Or every day
She
that
has
we're
office
supposed to
hours,
have,
so like Zoom office
class.
hours.
Yeah.
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 But she's
She
not
actually
using.
even sent an email out saying that if we were like lonely, we could actually Zoom her to have social interaction.
Interaction.
Yeah.
She did.
So this is our interaction. We just have to do this every day. Have a drink in our hands. And
I'm gonna go find.
Well, I feel like the group me kind of is almost its own office hours.
it's
No.
True enough.
That group me keeps me going.
Do you think a Zoom once a week would be okay, or with the
Like
group
voting?
me?
You don't want to see us more than that?
Well, yeah, I do.
You don't understand. We don't do anything during the day now,
We
other than
can't
maybe
see you.
Jalen.
You keep talking.
I play
You can't
Xbox and do
I
homework.
don't
That's
understand.
it.
I understand perfectly. I have sweatpants on down here. I haven't worn real clothes in a week.
I feel that.
Although I rarely wear real clothes anyway, so.
But her email does say, quote unquote, if you're going a little crazy in your house and need social interaction, I will have Zoom office hours each day from 10 to 10:30.
I mean, without Heverin, it'll be pretty fun. So like, we could Zoom each other. We don't need them.
Yeah, exactly.
You just got to figure out how to set this whole thing up. I don't know how to do that.
I don't know how to-
well, my wife says I'm screaming. Am I screaming?
Yes.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Excitement of seeing
What?
it.
You're kind of far away from your laptop, so that might be why.
Can we meet your wife,
Yeah.
You have dogs?
Heverin?
That's my wife. That's
Hello,
Kim.
Mrs. Heverin.
Hello.
Hi.
Sorry for
Isn't
you.
she from Milan, where Kyle's from?
Yeah, I am. I'm
Oh, we
older
hate-
than Kyle, obviously.
We hate Kyle, though. We hate Kyle.
You don't like Kyle?
I like Milan.
No,
I
we
hate Kyle.
Oh. I went to school with Kyle's older sister.
Oh, I don't know. What was the name of the high school? Do you know? You'd obviously.
Mylan.
yeah.
Don't you have the gym that Hoosiers was filmed in?
No, they actually filmed it out in Knightstown. But
Everyone from Milan says it's from their town, so they're fakes.
the movie is about Milan.
But they didn't film it
But
in
they
Mylan.
didn't film the movie there.
Yeah.
The guy
The
who
opening
played
scene's
Buddy-
in my hometown.
The guy who
Sheridan?
played Buddy lives like 4 houses down from me.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest with you and see the movie.
Yeah. Who's your? Is that another student, Logan, that goes to? What's his name? Nathan. Did you say you know another student that goes to Milan? There's another one on campus. There's.
Jacob Lobb.
Oh, Jacob Wow goes there?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a fraternity brother.
Oh,
a
really?
junior.
I went to school with his brother, Sean.
Oh, I forgot he had older brothers. That would make sense.
Yep.
Who's the
I've
kid?
heard of your professor.
Email Rod, but
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
All right. Well, have fun.
Thank you.
We will. We're trying our best not to get Fs. We're doing better than others.
Now, my wife
They
is
were here. That's pretty good.
My wife's an academic advisor, so she sees that's all she does is just advises students on she does lots of other things, but that's her main. She has over like 300 students that she meets with. throughout the
Where at? Where at?
IEP.
Oh, that makes sense why there's that many. That's a lot of students.
Yeah.
So, Lefty, you coming over?
Right now.
Smoot's almost here.
Okay, well, all right. So Eric and Augie, Angie and Eric.
That's a good one.
We're gonna do our homework.
They're talking about not social distancing.
Yeah, he has a cough right now. Eric, beware.
Lives in my room. I've already got it if I have it.
Alicia, are you playing darts?
No, I threw my dog's toy.
Oh, okay.
I was at Bojack's playing darts right now. Don't remind me of that.
Aw.
So,
Okay.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Are we actually going to do our projects?
Yes. They're gonna look different.
How are you going
But
to subjects when we can't be since?
what we'll more than likely do is instead of using Canovia, we can use that Huddle Technique app is super simple. You can draw angles and stuff on it.
Okay.
And we're probably going to do more like subjective stuff. Like what can you see? What differences can you actually see? And we're probably not, we're going to take Canovia pretty much out of the equation for the rest of the semester. It's just, it depends too much on, I will probably do Canovia, and I might post videos of me doing Canovia analyses and ask for your feedback on it, but I'm not going to make you do Canovia anymore.
Woo!
So.
Cheers.
Who's actually getting good at it for once?
But like, I think how are we gonna get subjects for our project?
You're not. You won't. And I haven't put this on paper yet because I have really no clue exactly the exact direction that I'm going to take it in. But you can still do the introduction and the methods. Okay?
I like it, Logan.
And who is that?
A hug.
That's awesome.
What's that guy's name?
A girl. What are you gender assuming?
What is its name?
It's Dempsey, and she likes alcohol-soaked ice cubes.
Girl.
So I would like you to finish for next week, collaborate on an introduction and the methods. You don't need equipment for that, and just assume that you would have all the equipment and resources from the lab. And once you get that done, from there, probably the next step will be, okay, what's the best way to look at this stuff? We might have to modify it just a little bit. Maybe you can use your parents or somebody around you. I'm going to think about it. It's going to be super simple. It's not going to be like a
My dad just gave me a terrified look when you said that.
no.
We can just fabricate data.
Yeah. Hey, maybe what does shelter in place do to your walking stride? We may end up turning it into a literature review or something like that. I still want to keep it in there because it is a large part of the class, and gait analysis is really cool. It is very neat. So there is also a possibility that, and I'm going to just throw this out there, more than likely I'll end up not doing this because it's a crap load of work for me. But I may take videos on my end of the different scenarios that you guys come up with, send them to you, and see if you can analyze them on your own.
That'd be cool because ours is walking in heels, so.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that.
I'm not
Can
gonna
you send
walk
that to everyone then and not just Kayla's group?
We'll send it out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
Do we even have ours Ours, Lefty? I don't really know what our project is yet.
So if you're collaborating on that stuff, just collaborate using, you can collaborate on a Google Doc, which is already set up for you, and you can, you can write to each other in Google and it's live. It updates live. You can text message back and forth. You can FaceTime one another. I don't care how you collaborate. Just do it together and follow the template. Oh, my.
Yeah.
What? Is that a corky?
Where's Gabe at?
I think Gabe's with my dad.
That's Dash. So Dash.
All right. So we're approaching like close to 9 o'clock.
It's still 8:35. We're in good shape.
What other questions do you guys have?
Not much right now.
You can always shoot me something on the group me. I'm probably going to start containing the group me hours a little bit for myself. So I usually wake up between 6:30 and 7:30, and then I probably will stop replying to stuff around between 5 and 6.
5 and 6.
What?
Like more like probably like 9.
Okay, Kayla.
5 and 6, like that's
coming to your bedtime now.
Around quarantine, sleep a few extra hours and stay up 2 extra hours.
Are you going to bed at 5 or 6? No, you're not.
No, but
he's got to hang out with his wife.
You have to separate work, family, and work.
I got some real Netflix.
And get a group me notification.
What's that?
You can be with your family and get a group me notification.
That's nice. That's
Jalen, what were you doing at 9 o'clock last night?
Okay, Jalen?
Yeah, if you guys look behind, if you look real close behind Kayla, you can see the world, and she revolves around it. Right, it revolves around her.
Move your head, Kayla. It's in the way.
I don't see it.
That's the San Francisco Bridge.
I don't know what that is.
No, dude, that's in Oregon, bro.
Good one, Augie.
I tried.
Francisco.
Who's an idiot?
The Golden Gate Bridge is
Smith's gonna come say hi, Lefty.
Dude,
glad you're not a geography major. All right. Well,
after you guys,
I didn't have anything special planned for tonight. I just want to see what you guys have questions on. You can always shoot me questions through GroupMe. We'll do another Zoom session maybe early next week. If you want.
Great.
Man, that was good.
That was great.
That does look good.
Yeah.
What you eating, Logan? Nachos?
Before we go, we need to see a chug, send a chug before we leave.
Hold on, I need to get it. Hold on, I don't have one now.
Go ahead and gear up.
All right, hold on, I'll be right back. I gotta
Gear
go.
up.
I have.
Yeah, I was sitting right there the whole time.
If you guys pick up, I am screwed for the rest of the weekend until I go to work.
No, you don't have to work, dude. You don't have to do anything.
Sunday I do.
Looks good, Leonard. I like it. Hold on.
Tall boy for this one. All right.
Hey, look, it's Smoot.
Smoot! Hey! Get a beer, Smoot.
Oh boy. All right. Well,
All right, are we sending off then?
just before I log off and let you guys go, not social distance, Eric and Augie. And
I'm not going there.
is there anybody that has any questions? And just to let you know, if for some reason, I think Taylor and Caitlin and now you guys are muted. You can unmute yourselves if you have questions. I just want to make sure you knew that.
Taylor said something in the chat earlier. She said, I'm glad that was recorded.
Taylor said yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's in like Florida right now.
Who is?
I think she is.
No, I thought she got back.
You guys see that Illinois is going shelter in place tomorrow at 5 p.m. until April 7th?
Yeah.
Indiana?
We'll do that too.
In place. My ABA company is still open.
She's in the car.
Yeah, they're upstairs.
Don't drink and drive, Taylor.
Oh, shit.
And she said, I'm not.
All right, guys. Well, do your best on the stuff that's due for Sunday. Let me know if you have questions. Keep it simple. I'm not gonna. Who is Blue?
Her dog, Taylor's
Her
dog.
Oh,
dog.
right, yeah. I don't have anything else, so I'm gonna go watch Schitt's Creek.
It's good.
Gonna watch what?
You guys have never seen Schitt's Creek?
I
No.
watched like one episode.
Oh
Stay away
man,
from shit in general.
what do you got there, Jones?
It's a natter day. It was for free.
Oh yeah. Hold on. What? Let me ask my wife. She saw.
Of course, Augie has the corona.
Hold on.
Hey, dude, you gotta have one every day to beat the virus.
Yeah, I heard alcohol kills it.
These are.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. I heard it.
He's got
I heard
case.
it help. Dude, don't drink my beer, Lefty. Those are smooth eyes.
Dude, what am I supposed to do? I can't go to the fucking store. I need-
drink our beer. That's what I'm saying.
It's been real. It's been fun. It's not been.
Yeah, so we hopping off now or what?
I don't know. Teddy's going to get his wife to check out the natter days or something.
For what?
I don't know. Apparently she likes natter days. I don't
This
know.
is like the highlight of my week, so I don't even care what's going on right now.
I agree.
Hold on. I gotta show you guys something. You'll like this. Have you guys seen Step Brothers?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
of
like.
course. Dude, your dog's cute.
He's like,
He's just in the
She-
screen. Oh, he left.
Stop under assuming again.
He wants my food.
I feel like Logan's got his own little office.
I know, right? It's probably his dad's office.
Jesus.
It's definitely not my office. Got the best Wi-Fi connection.
All right,
That's
here. Let me show you guys this. I don't know if you've seen this, but we saw this a few months ago, and it is hilarious. Hold on.
Oh gosh.
Have you guys seen this?
Yeah, dude, they're good.
Good, yeah. I like the Catalina lime.
Yeah. There's my dog. Oh, she's gone outside. Luna,
Well, your dog.
Your
Luna,
dog's name is Luna.
you want a treat?
My cat's name is Luna.
She has to use the bathroom.
Oh, your
She's
dog
back.
is cute. I like your cowboy boots. Those are the shit.
Those are.
Oh, she's obedient.
Aw.
Aw.
She's obese.
But no, come on.
That's rude.
Yeah, you're
Females obese these days. Don't follow the BMI.
Outside, go potty. Good girl. Okay. Those are my yard boots. They keep the mud off me.
The shit kickers.
All right. Bye bye.
Cheers out.
Have a good evening. Let me know if you. Yep. There you go. All right.
There you go.
All right. Here's water. Water for the non-alcohol drinkers. That's plenty. That's okay too. Bye bye.
As I'm extremely bored. Sorry.